Welcome to Exit Frag. I'm Zeph. I'm joined by Esports Andy. Today we are going to talk about VCT Pacific and VCT EMEA and the preview and predictions for their finals and grand finals.
Okay, so we have the upper finals with T1 and DRX. DRX has been really good. I didn't expect them to be this good.
Neither
I
did
think
I.
right now, I think they're the best team. People
What?
will be saying that T1, but T1 has been kind of looking not like a super team. They've been kind of like each one of their matches has been a map three. They look sloppy against Boom. They looked a little sloppy against Paper X. They look sloppy against Talon. Um, and DRX just has kind of looked more solid. They have
They
a lot of
2-0 Gen.G.
yeah, but we'll talk about Gen.G in a second. I don't think that's as impressive as it sounds.
Interesting.
um, Especially with texture just not really showing up and Karen's like not being warmed up yet.
Mm.
I think there was a poor game by Gen.G, but I think this is like their worst game. Um, DRX, like these new players have been a little better than I thought they'd be. And then also they've been using Tejo really well with freeing. I think I think everyone's been really surprised with DRX and how good that they've come out. I think, of course, people are also really surprised at how poorly and less dominant T1 has been. I would give it to DRX just because
I see that.
like T1 I think is going to be great. I think it's just that sometimes I think like Sideshow said this, sometimes it sounds like they're not even in comms together. They're just like Meteor's like running off doing one thing and then like Stax is doing another thing, Buzz is doing another thing. It's just it's a little chaotic, and then that's why they like lose rounds against teams I feel like they shouldn't lose rounds to.
Do you think this is like a team like issues a lot of like super team have with like there's a lot of like egos in the team, and then people just want to like either do their own thing or maybe like run things like they used to run it on their previous teams. Do you think that's
I
sort of the situation?
I think it's mostly just a bunch of systems all meshing together without
Mm.
like who's the head coach of T1 right now? Autumn. I think it's just I think it's gonna take time. I think like honestly, out of every team, and I don't think like I think this would actually kind of suck, but out of any team to not if they don't make Bangkok, I think it would really help them
I see.
because I think that they're in their current form, they're not going to win Masters Bangkok. They're definitely not. They're not that super. The good super team is in the other league in the EMEA,
Yeah.
but T1 it hasn't looked as solid. And I think if they had those 2 months of not even worrying about Masters, they could build their own system together and then possibly win like Masters Toronto.
Yeah. What I will say about T1 is that despite this team coming together, I wouldn't say last minute. They did play a lot of off season, but you know, as I guess coming from last season where they didn't perform as well to this season where they're actually not overperforming because a lot of people speculated they would be like really strong, but they're still performing at a pretty high level, which I think is impressive. Um, but I think fan expectation is that they just will win out the rest of the bracket. And like you said, like yeah, there's a lot of gaps with like T1, but I think that overall, like they're still doing a lot better than they were last time.
And I definitely think that. And the thing is like I'm dogging on like Talon or Paper X or Boom. I think Pacific has a lot of really good teams.
Yeah,
And so like all three of these teams are good teams. T1 is supposed to be the super team. They took all the best parts of DRX and Gen.G.
that's true.
Uh like they're supposed to be, and yet if they lose to DRX, I think that's kind of funny. Especially if they lost to DRX and then lost to Gen.G.
That's true.
That would be insane if that happens because that's literally they they were like a vampire and sucked like supposedly DRX and Gen.G's like souls out.
I want T1 to win, and I just want them to win so I don't look like a straight up hater, because I've been hating on Termy on this podcast for years at this point. And if he wins on the 7th, oh my god. I'm
That'd
gonna
be
look
so.
like the fraud here. Um,
Yeah, they rebuilt this team and it looks good. I didn't expect that. I thought they were gonna lose against Nungshim back in their first match.
I mean, Nungshing did look good though. I did
Yeah,
see a little bit of them, and they look good.
they look good. Yeah, they have issues though, but
Yeah. Okay, Talon versus Gen.G. Fill me in. Fill me in. I have not been watching Pacific that
so
much.
Gen.G has not looked like Gen.G. The first time that they did was against DFM.
Mm.
DFM, Karon started looking like his rookie form. Texture, Texture is still struggling a little bit. He had yeah, he's still struggling a bit. But I don't think that's like a him. Like, he'll be fine in the matches that really matter. I think, especially as the season goes on, he'll be fine. I think it's just that this team isn't like we knew they aren't as good as last year. They lost some key pieces, and now they're filling it in with like Foxy9. And Foxy9 has moments where he looks completely lost as a sight anchor. Like he will stay so far back and won't rotate. He will just he'll be playing his own game a lot of the time. But then there'll be moments where he will pop off.
I
And
see.
that's where it's like, okay, I understand like probably in scrims he's insane.
Hmm.
That's like what I've always heard is like Foxy9's awesome, Foxy9. But then he never really shows up. He does weird things in like the server, but I think Gen.G just was looking really sloppy until this last match. Um, and with Talon, I think Talon looks the same as last year. Like where they're like kind of in the same area as crew, but like even more chaotic.
Yeah.
Because they're stuck at like that 4 team, I think.
Hmm. I see.
Like they're good and they have firepower. They have moments where they're like, man, they're crazy and they just like do these crazy moves, and then they like will lose a map
Yeah.
that like, and they'll just look like super sloppy and like their mental's like so messed up. And then
Yeah.
Primmie's like goaded.
Yeah. And he's not playing Duelist from what I have
No, he
seen.
isn't. He's been playing a lot of Clove, which people were like, "Oh, it's so weird that Primmie's playing Clove," but it makes sense with what you do with Clove right now, especially in because he was playing Clove on Lotus. Yeah, you just push up on a different extremity or like a different side, and then you take a duel after like Governor takes a duel on the other side. Like there's a lot of things you can do with it, and I don't think it worked out against Nungshim, but I think like the ideas are there. I think say whatever you want about Frost. Frost is a smart coach,
Right. Yeah.
and this team's a good team. I just against Gen.G. Oh, this is a hard one because I think both these teams have similar issues. I think they can be really good, but they could also have a really bad match.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Talon just because I just want to see them improve.
Me too, because it'd be really like a bummer if Talon just loses out here.
Yeah. If they went out top 4 again, it's like, they didn't like do as good. They didn't do as bad. They're just kind of in the
And
same spot.
and I would really like to see Talon in a best of 5 because we haven't seen that because they never make it this far. They always fall out around here. I'd love to see what they can do on 5 maps.
Let's see.
Do I think they would get 5 maps into against T1 or DRX? That's a different story. But yeah, I think I honestly would go with Talon. I think Premi's doing really good, and I think Gen.G is still rusty.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, moving on to EMEA. I have a little more expertise in this area. I've been watching a lot of the games. We have Team Vitality versus Team Heretics. It's a gigabanger in the works.
I 'Cause I haven't seen too much of the because I didn't get to see the Team Vitality game against Foot.
Mm.
I'm assuming they looked a lot better than they did against Karmine Corp.
Vitality rolled Foot.
Yeah, okay, so and then Vitality then rolled Fnatic and stuff like that. So that's why I was like, Team Vitality seems like they're starting to heat up and become that team that
Yeah,
everyone was kind of expecting, and they didn't come out as hot, but are picking it up.
yeah. It was a lot of just like Derke doing like some crazy stuff. I can't remember. There's someone out fragged him though. Let me see. It was total map. No, but oh, maybe I was wrong. Oh yeah, Kicks. Kicks did a
I was hearing,
great job on Bind.
I was
Uh,
hearing his flashes were like incredible.
yeah, and they were playing Sky. Like no one's played Sky in like forever. I think there was like one other map. I can't remember the match exactly, where someone played Sky. I think it was an America's game too. But yeah, Vitality made it work. Sayf was having a day. Um, he's always having a day though. And then Derke did really good on split. I mean, the guy was getting away with like some plays that like no one should be getting away with. He was like, there was this one play where like he satchels, he's on the defender side, and he satchels onto ramp after someone had stunned on ramp, and he had like a whole like 3 seconds where he didn't get shot. He shoots the guy, he throws a nade, and he gets away with another kill. Like what? But yeah, I don't really know what else to say except like Vitality are just looking excuse me, incredible. And I think it's gonna be a tough matchup here for them against Team Heretics. But I think Team Heretics have looked a little weaker, and I won't discredit them too much. Um, Let me see. I kind of forgot what happened. Yeah, they kept it close with BBL on the first map. Then the second map, they won 13-7. But I don't know. There's just something about this Heretics team where like there's areas where they're making mistakes. Mini Boo has not been playing well. It's mostly been like Rien's that's been playing like really good. And I don't know. To me, it's a tough sell based off what I've seen from Team Heretics. I mean, they struggled against Gentlemates in a map. I think Vitality is going to dominate them again. Is Heretics going to have moments? Yes. But I think for the most part, Vitality is going to beat them either 2-0 or 2-1, and it's not going to be close on two maps.
I Yeah, because like I say that this is going to be a harder matchup later in the season. Because I think
Yeah.
peak Team Heretics that we were seeing at the end of last year, this would be like a huge. This would be like an awesome map, like best of five matchup or something. It would be. I would love to see that back and forth. Right now, in their current states, unless Team Heretics over this last week just kind of woke up and got back into form completely, I think that there's no like if you're looking at Team Vitality, Les, who is like possibly one of like what like a top three controller player,
I mean, he's
just
a
was like
top 10 in the world.
yeah, he just was like chilling in like the middle of the pack. Like he
Yeah.
didn't have to do anything crazy, and they blew out Foot, who isn't a bad team, who takes these can like duel with anybody, and then or like Trex just kind of chilling at the bottom because he's the initiator. He's just setting up other people. That's what makes this team crazy is that if Kix is doing really good, then there's no Kix was the weak link.
Yeah. Kicks
And
was the
if
weak
Kix
link.
is like one of the better players on this team, that like there's not a better team and then also the roles fit. This is a super team that was built with roles. Like in my like Derke, you know what he plays. Les, you know what he plays. Sayf can do whatever, and then Trex it can also kind of do whatever. This team's really hard to beat, and Team Heretics has to be at full peak form, champions level form, and they're not there right now. It's the beginning of the season. So it would so shock me if Team Heretics wins,
Yeah.
just because of the level right now.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I don't see Vitality losing this one. Like everything we said before. Foot Esports versus Team Liquid. Gosh, dude.
Okay, so I made a tier list video a second ago, like yesterday,
Uh,
and I couldn't put Team Liquid any higher than like B tier.
yeah, I don't know. It's weird seeing them here. Like it's weird and it's not weird at the same time. It's sort of a love-hate relationship because Team Liquid is just so mid and they're somehow still here.
Because I can name, okay, I could name one, two, three, four, like four teams that are like out that I think are better than them.
I don't know how the hell Team Liquid beat GiantX. I thought they looked. I thought GiantX looked way better, but I
I
guess
thought
not.
GiantX was better. I thought that even Apex could have beat them. I felt like BBL could have
Okay,
beat them.
okay, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Because Apex, yeah, they go into map 3 against them with like someone that just like showed up last second.
Yeah,
Because
and here's the problem. Hypothetically speaking, if Liquid pull out a miracle out of their ass, I don't want them to go to Bangkok because I know what to expect. I know.
that's such a wasted spot.
Yes, I know it's a waste of a spot. They're gonna go. They're gonna win one map, and then they're gonna come back home. It's like, dude, like I'm okay. So I mean, this matchup with Foot. I mean, Foot were able to bounce back from their stomp against Vitality by stomping out Fnatic, and I just think Foot are like much more balanced out team. I think especially like when we see Team Heretics versus Vitality, if Vitality just absolutely destroys Heretics, then it's gonna be like a more of a case of like, oh, Foot like are like the way stronger team. It's just they had to play against the super team. So to me, I think this might not be as close as people think it's going to be. I think Foot are a much better team. They have less sloppiness. Despite losing pretty bad to Vitality, I still do think that they're a more well-rounded team. Yeta J is really good. I got Foot.
Yeah, and like up in the upper quarterfinals, like Foot just looked way better than Team Liquid when they played each other. I would be that'd be kind of crazy if they like just all of a sudden turned it around. Because also, it's not like they turned it around in the lower brackets.
Right.
I just think I just think the other teams just did bad,
Yeah.
like against them, and that shouldn't happen with Foot. Foot, we know how they play. They've played the same way for like 2 years now. They just kind of dry peak and hit their shots. Team Liquid, if Team Liquid goes to Bangkok, then I don't even know. That'd just be a disservice for everyone.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think regardless of the outcome between Vitality and Team Heretics, I still see Team Heretics winning unless they suffered like some sort of collapse last
Yeah.
minute.
Well, yeah, and I think the tier gap is still pretty. I think Foot is very close to Team Heretics right now, but Team Heretics, I think, with especially a best of 5, they're used to them, and I think they should be able to knock out Foot. I think the two upper final teams should make it.
Yeah. Agree. And that was our predictions for the rest of the regions, EMEA and Pacific. Join us tomorrow when we talk about the state of the meta. See you tomorrow.